Hello. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. This is Inspiring You. And if we haven't met, I'm Henry. So, we're going to be talking about the equinox, embracing the equinox. It's a moment for reflection and growth. So, the equinox is going to be fall in the Northern Hemisphere and spring in the Southern Hemisphere. And it is happening on Sunday, September 22nd. So, the equinox marks a significant turning point in our astrological journey. As the energy shifts, we are invited to embrace change, evolve, and expand our understanding of ourselves and our paths. In the context of the astrological calendar, the September equinox serves as a midpoint. So, my friends, it is a time when we reflect on the chapter we've been navigating. While the completion of this journey awaits us at the March equinox, this moment encourages us to consider how we want this chapter to unfold. But before we go any further, my friends, if you enjoy today's episode and you find it insightful, we would love to hear from you. Please take a moment to like this episode, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow us for more content. And be sure to listen to our Equinox Beneficial Gateway Immersion in Light Activation Meditation. That can support you as well. That will be in the next episode. So, my friends, we do appreciate all the support. And if you do the meditation, it is a wonderful way to deepen your experience. And also, if you can, share this with your friends to help grow our community and reach more people. And thanks for being part of our journey. We so appreciate it. Okay, so in regard to the equinox and in talking about that chapter, reflecting on the chapter that we've been navigating. So here is one of the reflection questions. How do you envision the conclusion of this chapter? What direction do you wish to take as your story progresses? Remember, you are the author of your narrative. You are the writer. You are co-creating with the universe. Although there can be many aspects of life that lie beyond our control, the equinox offers a unique opportunity to express your intentions to the universe, to yourself, and to those around you, and let yourself check in to what it is that you are co-creating with the universe. Tapping into your divine design, your story. What is it that you are creating as an empowered creator here in this physical world? So let's talk about the sacred energy of the equinox. Traditionally, the equinox is seen as a sacred time when the veil between the physical and the spiritual realms are at its thinnest. The thinning veil enhances our connection to the Earth's energy grid, allowing us to attune to the subtle shifts all around us. We can observe these changes in nature as she responds to the season's call. In the Northern Hemisphere, we witness nature releasing and shedding, while in the Southern Hemisphere, life begins to bloom and flourish. Regardless of where you are, this energy shifts invites us to recognize what in our lives needs to be let go of and what is ready to thrive. And y'all, this week has been a contemplation week for me. Woo! I feel like I was in the thick of it a couple times, and I'm in deep. Today's been a deep day for me. So even as I'm speaking, you might be able to notice that my tone is slightly different. I've been in some deep reflection today. So as we approach the equinox, clarity often emerges about where we need to expand and where we need to pull back. It's time to identify what's truly important to us, where we wish to direct our energy, and what intentions we want to set moving forward. So, my friends, if you are feeling ungrounded or you're seeking to align with Mother Earth's rhythm, let yourself spend some intentional time outdoors in this incredibly restorative and that can be incredibly restorative and balancing, connecting to the earth in various ways. If you can go outside, connecting right to the earth, if some grass that you can do this in. If you are also maybe by some water, the ocean, you can also go to the ocean, put your feet in, and just feel that connection with that ebb and flow, and let yourself reground, realign, and really just connect to Mother Earth's rhythms and spend some intentional time outdoors, because it can just be incredibly refreshing and revitalizing and rebalancing as well. Okay, so let's talk about then what all of this is like. So entering also, so for the September equinox, it's also ushering in the Libra season, which is a time that emphasizes balance and the flow of giving and receiving. And so Libra teaches us about our connections with others and ourselves, and how those relationships shape our sense of self. So here are some reflection questions in terms of relationships in your life. So you can take a moment to get a piece of paper, get out a pen, write them down if you wish to, or if you are listening to the recording, you can pause it. So here are the reflection questions. Do certain individuals uplift and inspire you? Do certain individuals uplift and inspire you? Do certain individuals uplift and inspire you? Are there connections that challenge you to grow by revealing hidden patterns or traumas? Are there connections that challenge you to grow by revealing hidden patterns or traumas? Are there connections that challenge you to grow by revealing hidden patterns or traumas? And remember, my friends, all of this, none of it's right, wrong, or good or bad. There is an isness, my friends. So it is an isness. And just reminding you that in regard to, the equinox, it is about balance and transition. So letting yourself understand that it's not right, wrong, good or bad, and there might be energy being called to be transformed and transmuted. And so with that, then the next question is, which relationships bring joy and remind you of life's simple pleasures? Which relationships bring joy and remind you of life's simple pleasures? So taking a moment to reflect on that as well. And then, are some connections feeling one-sided or maintained out of obligation? Are some connections feeling one-sided or maintained out of obligation? And again, it's not right, wrong, or good or bad if they are. It's just, just acknowledging. And so, are some connections feeling one-sided or maintained out of obligation? And remember, this is a time for balancing, right? So then what is being called to balance, right? So you want to look at that. What is being called to balance? And so with that, then, again, with the equinox, it is about equality, balance, harmony, and it's representing both equal parts of day and night. And it's also a time of that transition, that transformation from one cycle to another. And its influence can be harnessed to support you in terms of, closings and beginnings, or endings and beginnings. So that's why it's really just, taking some time right now to reflect can really just be supportive and understanding kind of where you are in this experience. So, okay. And also know that relationships, are among our greatest teachers, essential for support in a lot of different ways in terms of our growth, understanding of, where we are in the experience, what's happening, and they can give us a lot of information. So the equinox and the Libra season create a supportive environment for exploring these dynamics. And here are some more things to guide you in your reflection. And you can also continue with your journaling if you wish to. Here it is. Think about a significant or challenging relationship in your life. Allow your intuition to lead you to respond to these questions. And there's no need to rush. Let your thoughts flow and see what insights arise. And there's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. It is not right, wrong, good, or bad. There's an isness. So think about a significant or challenging relationship in your life and allow your intuition to lead you to respond in terms of these questions. So here we go. What lessons do you believe this relationship offers? What lessons do you believe this relationship offers? What lessons do you believe this relationship offers? Do you feel there are karmic ties or soul contracts at play? Do you feel that there are karmic ties or soul contracts at play? And what might be their higher purpose? What might be their higher purpose? Are you projecting your desires onto this relationship? Are you projecting your desires onto this relationship? Are you truly listening and communicating openly, or are assumptions clouding your interactions? Are you truly listening and communicating openly, or are there assumptions clouding your interactions? Also, just to remind you, my friends, if I'm going really fast and you're listening to the replay, you can pause this to give yourself time to either reflect or write down your answers. Next one. Is there something that needs to change within the relationship? Can this transformation begin with you? Is there something that needs to change within the relationship? Can this transformation begin with you? How can you show up as your best self in this dynamic? How can you show up as your best self in this dynamic? Which aspects of your identity feel restricted and which are encouraged to flourish? Which aspects of your identity feel restricted and which are encouraged to flourish? So use this time, my friends, a reflection to deepen your understanding and nurture the relationships. And the equinox is offering a powerful space for intention setting and realignment, encouraging us to flow with changing energies of the season. So I will also say, my friends, that I know sometimes it can be challenging if you're in a relationship or dynamic that, that feels difficult. And I have, a relationship in my own life that I have chosen time and time again to continue. And because it is a relationship that means a lot to me. And even though it can be extremely difficult at times, it is something that I feel is probably one of my greatest, relationships, because it has supported me learning, growing, and evolving so much. And I'll share it. The relationship is with my own mom, my mother. My mom, in her own way, cares and loves myself and my brothers deeply, yet she harbors a lot of just challenges from her own experience, from growing up, from just things that were unresolved, and it, in the human experience, it can just affect you in different ways. And so my mom has been one of my greatest teachers, and also one of my greatest motivations in terms of using tools and understanding like what is happening here in the world. And if I had grown up with a parent, with my mom being extremely in a different way, it may not have motivated me in some ways to roll up my sleeves, to really go out into the world and be like, wait, what is happening here? And then understand different modalities and be in the space that I'm in. And so when you look at like divine design and your soul contracts, your soul contracts are supporting you in terms of your divine design and your human, how you're here to learn, grow, and evolve. And that doesn't mean that it's all going to be like kumbaya and it's going to be like, wow, this is just, if it can be a relationship of just complete peace, joy, understanding, that's amazing. But my mom, the relationship with it has really taught me that we can have different viewpoints and still be in a space of loving one another, that she can be different than me and I can be different than her, and we can love one another. we don't have to have all the same beliefs. We don't have to like all the same things to love one another. And I know that at times with my mom, it may have been more challenging for her because I think that, from what I've been told, most of her life when she was a kid, dreaming of her life, she always imagined having a daughter one day that was going to be like her best friend, where they were two peas in a pod. And I am so, in some ways, so much more like my dad. And my mom never kind of factored that into the dream. And so, but the thing is, though, in our divine design, in my divine design, in our soul contract, it wasn't about, it was about the growth of where my human was going to be going. And so then, in accordance to that, my mom helped me and supported me to allow me to be where I am today. And I know that sometimes when we look at our parents, we're wanting them to be X, Y, and Z. And yet you have to remember we're multidimensional. We're multidimensional. And what you think on the human perspective just may not be all the information. And that in your divine design, in your soul contracts, there might be more information. And so that's why some of these questions, it's really looking at it from, not from a right, wrong, good or bad, not from, not from like the rigid viewpoint, but really from a space of mindfulness and curiosity and wonder, or also letting go of any kind of, if you've been hurt or you feel sad about a relationship, and if there's any kind of judgment in it, you want to work on clearing that as much as you can, processing the emotions, bringing in compassion for the human, for any disappointment. And then once you're in a grounded, aligned space and you've shifted from 3D to 5D, then come back to these questions, because you want to ask these questions from a space of being heart-centered. And if you can, shifting into 5D, so then you're getting the expanded information. And so when you're looking at these, when you're answering these questions and you're thinking about okay, relationships are among our greatest teachers and can be really essential for growth and understanding of who we are. So you want to look at then, if you're thinking about a significant or challenging relationship in your life, you want to look at it from the expanded point of how has this really been for your highest good. And years ago, I would have said that my dad was really one of my first spiritual mentors and teachers. And yes, he was. But the thing is, my mom has probably been my greatest spiritual teacher here. And it is also true, because you can have two truths. Two things can be true at once. Also, it has been one of the most difficult relationships. And there have been many times when, in the past, early on in my 20s, I had a few therapists say maybe you need to, one person said, cut off contact with your mom, and I meditated and prayed about it. And, my higher self soul, my guides were like, no, that's actually not for you. That's not beneficial advice, because it was about me learning tools on how to have also healthy boundaries and how to, really understand a lot of different elements. And my mom ended up being one of my greatest teachers, and, what she is one of my greatest teachers. And and so I have learned I've learned so much through this experience in our relationship. I understand, and because of our relationship, I understand that people can come to the table and can be from different walks of life, have different viewpoints, and still find things to connect on and find things to laugh about with, find things that you do have in common. But no matter what, it's the love for one another. And that isn't about necessarily having to have everything the same. And I'm just so grateful for that relationship, even though it has been challenging times. Also, in regard to what's interesting about human experiences, you could have a difficult relationship with someone on the human level, and you never know. This person can be maybe difficult in a lot of different ways. They could be even caught in some negative energies or patterns. But you'd be surprised at how many souls then you find out that their souls from like an angelic realm. It is so fascinating how the different realms, and you find out where somebody's soul is from, and you're like, really? Oh my God. Because again, their soul is multidimensional and their human is having an experience here. But that doesn't mean that the truth of who they are is shining through. It doesn't mean that their soul's embodied. Also, they may have chosen, they may have chosen a path here to experience. And maybe they chose to experience really being in low vibrational energies because they wanted to understand what it was really like to be in that. And as hard as that can be sometimes to understand, that's where it's like, it's not right, wrong, good, or bad. They're all experiences here, and there's a lot of different choices. And how do we just learn to navigate, keeping ourselves grounded and aligned and shifted to a high vibrational frequency, and then recognizing then no matter what we're around, if our systems are becoming dysregulated, using the tools instead of blaming so and so is super negative or blah 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 blah, and oh my God, now I'm walking away with like a headache from that experience. Instead of like pointing and blaming, as soon as we notice our nervous system is becoming dysregulated, okay, wait, I'm getting information that something is around me that feels slightly negative, and let me take a moment to recognize and then ask for my energy to be cleared, reground, realign, and shift to a higher vibration frequency. And then you want to up your protection around your energy field. And then from there, letting yourself learn how to be in spaces with all kinds of different energies. Just this week, I had 2 experiences where I was walking down the street and major, major negative energy around, these 2 different people, 2 different experiences, 2 different negative energy. And each time, I got the information that it was coming. My intuition, my higher self soul, my guide team let me know. And I immediately turned on Reiki, asked for my energy to be cleared. And then I just asked for my vibration. You ask for yourself to be shifted to a higher vibrational experience. And then you ask for protection around your energy field. And then the person walks by, and then you are walking by them, because the thing is, we share space with one another. And so learning how to take care of your energy field is probably one of the most important things I feel that a human can do, because we are all energy alchemists. So learning how to alchemize energy is so important. So with that, then, these reflection questions, take some time to do them, because they can really help you out. And also know that as amazing it is to have relationships that just feel effortless and with ease, grace, and just joy and harmony, I love that. But there can be sometimes, a difficult relationship that can also be one of your greatest teachers in regard to your human experience, and also be supporting you with your divine design. And that's why not making, really working on letting go of assumptions, letting go of judgment, and being open to the expanded consciousness and the light information on something, because that wisdom then can support you in understanding that connection to your divine design. Okay, my friends, so that is it for now. And if you're going to want the meditation, head to the next episode. So again, if you enjoyed this episode or any episode from Inspiring You, we'd love to hear from you. Please take a moment to like this episode, share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. I love hearing people's stories. And also, don't forget to follow us for more content, and be sure to listen to the Equinox Beneficial Gateway Immersion Light Activation Meditation. It's a wonderful way to deepen your experience, and please share this with your friends. Please help grow our community and reach more people. And if you are interested in live classes, then please consider joining the Inspiring You Patreon. We do live classes all the time, and then there's replays for them, and it's just a wonderful community as well. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much for